Hi guys, I'm live. So this is a very important live to me and for me, and I have some things I need to say and want to say. First of all, Joe Walsh called the other day. I want to turn this thing off so they can't hear all the phone calls and the beeps and dings on my phone. It's always a problem when I'm trying to record, especially when it's musical, because there's always like these dings and beeps from my phone going off, and sometimes it interrupts the music, and sometimes people call me and spam me but whatever, I'm not going to go into that. I just muted my phone. Thank you. So, Joe Walsh called me the other day, and I was butterflies in my stomach about the David Roth gig because it was up in the air, and I might have been taking it out on Joe a little bit more than I wanted to, and I'm sorry if I did, Joe. So I mean, I respect you, Joe. I didn't mean to, get in tiffs with you and lock horns with you a couple times. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I respect you very much. In fact, that's one of the reasons I did it. I sensed my friend, and you could take it. But that doesn't mean I get to go, not be nice. I'm sorry if I wasn't nice. And I love you, Joe. I love to do Rocky Mountain Way with you and Funk 49, and also would love to do. Life's Been Good to Me So Far. I love that song. How'd you write that? So I'm sorry, Joe. I love you, and we'll love to work with you soon. And Mick Mars just called. Mick's like my dad to me. He's like the dad I never had. He's the only dad that I have right now. And that's And Mick said that I got the David Roth gig. I'm so grateful, David. And I'm humbled, actually. You get a moment where you're like excited, and you are, but then it hits you what you're doing, and it humbles you, because I'm going to fill the shoes of Eddie Van Halen and Steve Vai and Jason Becker, and I don't take that lightly. Believe me, I don't take that. I take that as seriously as like my own life. It's very serious to me, but it's fun and it's rock and roll, and I can't wait to rock with you, David. Okay, I love you, David. And then Sharon Osbourne has heard of me, and she Ozzy's going to do one last tour or fest before that he's going to do, and all the Black Sabbath and people and Ozzy people are going to be there, and it seems like they want me to play Randy's parts, and when Mick told me that, I was standing on the steps to come up to get out of the Studio 666 to talk, so I could talk out here on the porch, because it's just got more sunlight and I feel freer. And I had a guitar in my hand to take out, or that was just in my hand. It's right over here now. And when Mick said that I'm going to be playing Randy's parts, I cried a little, and I almost fell back from the steps. Literally, I almost fell backward from the steps, because it's like I'm playing Randy's parts. Holy mackerel! But I pulled myself together quickly, and I get it. I have a history with Randy that he wasn't involved in, but in my head, because when the tribute album came out in 1987. Before that, I was really into Alan Holdsworth and Fusion and all this other music I didn't really understand. But when Tribute came out, it turned me a corner back into rock and roll heavy metal, and it never turned back. I don't even remember why. I love Alan Holdsworth, but that's not my style. It's not what I do. And Randy was instrumental with the Tribute album, and Ozzy and Sharon putting that out just at the right time. I even noted that Randy and I were born 10 years apart to the day. Randy was born 12/6/1956, and I was born 12/6/1966. So we're 10 years apart to the day. The chances of that are 1 in 3,600 and 1,652, or 3,651 to 1 odds of that. And maybe that's not even true, because that would only, well, yeah, that's about right. At least that's how I figure it. That is a third of a tenth of 1%. So it's like very little chance of that being true. And when the music hit me, when I heard his Suicide Solution cadenza and the song Suicide Solution and its solo and Flying High live, Flying High Again, and I Don't Know, and Crazy Train, and then the D outtakes he did. I don't know if I said it out loud or not. I'm not in the room right now to say that, but it was like 30 8 years ago, I did a prayer to Randy. Whether I spoke it or not, I don't remember. But I said, Randy, I almost wish I would have died instead of you. And I said that I will do with the rest of my life. I will try to do what you would have done in music if you would have lived. I'll try to do what you would have done if you'd have lived. And I prayed that to Randy in 1987. Now, of course, that's a hard thing to live up to, but I've tried, I've practiced, I've studied, and Ozzy and Sharon, it's an honor to play Randy's parts at the fest. I mean, you may not have any idea, but maybe you do, but maybe you don't, because it just means everything to me. And then I'm going to be doing a thing with Ace of Base. And I think that Brian Johnson from AC/DC was in an early version of Ace of Base. I'm going to try to get that CD today at Spindle's Record Shack. I don't know if they'll have it, but I can try, because I do everything by CD. I don't internet anything. I don't Google how to play or what I'm playing or what I'm learning. I do it all by CD. I will Google lyrics. That's it. Everything is CD to me, and that's how I grew up. You learned it by tape. You learned on a Radio Shack tape player. Is it live or is it Memorex? And you did it by tape. You didn't do all this. What are the notes? You learned it by ear. So I'll try to get the CD today. And Mick, thank you so much for the good news. Great news, actually. And I'm honored. And I'm honored and humbled, if you can believe that. I'm honored and humbled. And I will do everything I can to make my parts and my performance as good as I can possibly do. I mean, you may be surprised before a gig. You guys might be just hanging out and shooting the bull, as they say. And I'm liable to be like over in the corner, just niggering on my guitar, trying to make sure I know all my parts for the song. I'm liable to not be engaged in any of the pre-stage banter or whatever, because I'm going to be into what am I going to play? I'm going to be in back. You're going to find me back in the corner fiddling on my guitar, making sure I know all my licks. And one of the smart ones of you will come over and comfort me and say, "It's all right, Jimmie," probably. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop figuring with my fretboard. That's what matters. That's first, is playing the notes right and playing the rock and roll the way it's supposed to be heard. I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.